Hello everybody, Sila here, and I'm back again to try to continue this study of our book, which is The Gospel According to the Spiritism by Allan Kardec. We started last week and it was my first time, so a bit overwhelming for me. I know it should not be, but it is. I felt that when I look back, I read too much, so this time I want to do a little bit of more concise, more easy, less reading, more explanation. So let's see if it works better for everybody. I hope it does. Again, I want to apologize for my accent, for my reading, because I'm a foreign, and even though I've been living in places that speak English for a long time, it's still mistakes happen, so I apologize ahead of time. We no longer do. Let's get back to what we're talking about. So last week we read the chapter 1, which is the chapter that I have not come to destroy the law. That was done, is what Jesus meant to say by coming into planet Earth. But we start this book by talking about two laws. The beginning of the times of Moses, there was two laws existent. Which one was the civil law, which is the law of the time, like the laws we have now into society. The laws that were to be obeyed by everybody at the time. They live, all the Hebrews, the pagans, what should be obeyed. Back in the day, it was not like today that people understand the message without much more saying. So to make those laws be obeyed, they would apply punishments, death sentences, and other ways of they need to be presented with harshness so people would listen to and would obey. So then come Moses and came with the 10 commandments. So that was the laws of God. So there is two sets of law: the Mosaic civil law and then the laws of God, which were the 10 commandments on the Mount Sinai by Moses. The civil laws sets are laws that can be changed according to the time, the population, the people that live, as things change. The Moses law is the ones that are unchangeable. They are forever written. They are brought through Moses, but they are laws from God, because Moses was the spirit sent by God to make himself known to the Hebrews and the pagans, to disclosure the existence of divinity. So when Moses brought those 10 commandments are the laws that actually were brought to earth by God. They were God speaking through Moses. So then we stop there. What happened after that is, after Moses, Jesus came. So Moses is the Old Testament, Jesus is the New Testament. Many years after, and the theme of the chapter 1 is that Jesus didn't come to destroy the laws brought by Moses. He came to develop and to show the real meaning. So he came to make better. And I'm talking about without reading the book, but if you start reading, that's what chapter 1 is talking about. So basically, that's why Jesus came after many years, when the society was a little bit more developed, like in understanding, in ways of living, in the way we carry on developing ourselves over the years. So I'm making notes, so I'm gonna follow my notes so I don't get sidetracked. So talking about this, because the customs and level of understanding at the time of Moses, the laws were imposed to the people in very cruel ways, making people that disobey these laws being punished. It made God being seen as a tyrant, or as somebody that would seek revenge if you don't obey the laws. So this made God look bad, because even though there were the laws of God, God never meant revenge or tyranny, or being really I don't know, really barbaric at the time, because this is how the people from the church at the time, or the commanders or whatever, they will present the Jesus laws, God's laws at. So it became like, it made look bad at God. Then Christ came as the initiator of the most sublime morals. So he came to show common solidarity, neighborhood to all mankind, meaning, like what I said before, we're neighbors. Doesn't mean my neighbor next door. It means neighbors in other countries, my neighbors, like, especially countries in the days we're living with wars. We're all neighbors. We don't want to like let's say, really sad about Russian and Ukraine. they're neighbors. They are brothers and sisters. They come from the same cultural background, and they are at war. So anyway, so one the thing, so Jesus brought neighborhood to all mankind, make us feel like, understand that we are brothers and sisters no matter who we are, and to spread charity and love. That was the main messages of the Christ. Jesus came to develop the Mosaic law, the Old Testament, and show the real meaning of each to the degree of appropriation and understand of each. So when Jesus came again, we're not developed enough to understand everything that Jesus has to show. So therefore, he showed us what he could at the time, what would be understood, even though to this day we don't understand. The Bible is there, and there's so many interpretations. There's so many, God knows what has been changed doing translations over the time. So it's kind of like, it's there, and I believe the main structure is there, the teachings, but it's still not understood. And there, Jesus came in the time that we should understand everything. So see how, we should feel humble, because we are not developed as we think we are. Anyways, that was many, many years ago. So, Jesus combated the Mosaic laws that over time were falsely interpreted for personal gain or use of power. Again, what I'm saying about how people use the Mosaic laws to punish, again, power, and use that against other people. But Jesus came to show us by example and destroy the false interpretations. So, yeah, I already talked about that, right? Because the understanding and progress of people of the time of Jesus, not all could be revealed. Okay, so again, because back in the day when Jesus was on earth, he could not reveal everything that he wanted or he was supposed to, because people would not understand. It was so much that he has to speak in parables, as we know, and those are things that are like sometimes, oh, wait a minute. Back in the time, everybody understood parables, so that's the way they communicate. So Jesus made his way of communicating understandable at the time, and now, again, it becomes almost like old language that nobody kind of really simply understands. So with that in mind, because not all truth could be revealed, Jesus promised, you probably heard about that, like even I, the one that don't go to church, Jesus promised more to be revealed in the future, more teachings, or some churches say they believe in the next revelation, or they believe Jesus is gonna come back, or they believe on another person called they say the counselor that will come to earth and teach us. A lot of religions believe there's something else that's going to come, or Jesus is going to come back, or one thing or another. Well, that's when we come into this next revelation is understood to be the doctrine of Spiritism, where science and religion meets and work together, revealing itself. So, let me continue. Jesus came to save us and show the way of God. He also gave us signs, alert us about the future of our destiny lying on the planet Earth, living on the planet Earth, but couldn't talk about it all at the time of his passage on Earth. After humanity matured somewhat, the next revelation, as promised by Jesus, arrived in the form of the Spiritism, which all teachings from God into this moment. So basically, we believe that Spiritism brought to us by Allan Kardec on the 1800s, which again is a long time ago for us, but not really still relevant to today's. Is the next revelation, and we believe this because, again, it doesn't come to destroy any law. It doesn't come to convince you to leave your church and come join. It's not even a religion, it's a doctrine. So it's just, again, it just adds to the church teachings. So it explains, things that the church kind of say, but it's not really clear, so it's just adding to it. And I know it sounds scary when we talk about spirits and we talk about energy, when we talk, because this is just the beginning. The gospel according to Spiritism is just trying to explain the gospel. If you really dive into Spiritism, we're gonna talk about God, what God looks like. Is a God a person even? Does it have a body? I don't know. Spirits, some people see spirits, some people communicate with that. Do they have a physical body? No. So they appear like a person? Are their energy, how people perceive them? It goes on and on and on. It's so much to learn that it's impossible for me to even grasp. So everybody has your personal learning experience. So anyhow, back to what we're doing. I don't want to jump too much ahead of time. So the main thing that Spiritism reveal is that there's no death. After you die, your soul is still alive, goes to a place. There's no heaven and hell, but that is something. Not a place where you go to be punished like hell, but it's a place you go to learn and understand yourself, and then you reincarnate, so that gives you a chance to start again, because we believe that God don't punish. God just make you understand and accept yourself. And we are here, everybody here on the planet Earth is the same. We're all here to learn, some the better, some the worse, but doesn't matter. We're all brothers and sisters, and we all the same, on the same level, or else we will not be here. We'll be elsewhere if we were better or worse. So we are here to learn. But then, reading chapter 1, I want to conclude with something. So this book is pretty much, this is the way this functions. So we have here chapters of the gospel, right? And then we have some explanation of each part done by the people that wrote the book, which is in this case Allan Kardec. But then we have explanations done by the spirits. So spirits that explain the gospel through mediums. So again, I'll go back. How Allan Kardec done that is that when he starts studying the Spiritism, he will get several mediums spread all over the world, and he will send the same question to all. They will receive the message from the spirits, and on the book of the spirits, the messages, they all the same message to all mediums, so they know it was coming, the messages will come from one source. So that's how they scientifically study the whole process. Now in this book, they will get messages from different spirits, different locations, different places, different mediums, explaining the chapters. And I quite don't know if the messages were all the same, or some were the same, some are not. But there is one part here that was wrote by a spirit called doesn't have the name, but it was, well, they say Fenelon, and it was Poitiers in 1861, which I think is the place. Fenelon maybe is the name of the spirit, how did he call it himself. And what it says, of course, is related to chapter 1, but I think it reflects so much what we live in the world today. I'm gonna read for you because you take your own conclusions, but this is like what the spirits say back in 1861. But stay tuned. Once, in his undying charity, God permitted man to see the true pierce of darkness. That day was the advent of Christ. After that living light was gone, the darkness returned. Having been given the alternatives of truth or obscurity, the world once again lost itself. Then, similar to the prophets of the Old Testament, the spirits began to speak and finally gave warning that the world is trembling on its very foundations and thunder will respond. Remain steady. Spiritism is of a divine order because it's based upon the actual laws of nature, and you may be certain that everything of a divine nature has a great and useful objective. Your words was losing itself yet again because science development at the cost of all that is moral was only inducing you to material well-being, resulting in benefit of the spirits of darkness. 18 centuries of blood and martyrs, and still Christ's reign has not yet come. Christians, return to the teacher who wishes to save you. It is easy for those who believe and who love. Love fills one with indescribable happiness. Yes, my children, the world is shaking as the God spirits have repeatedly warned it. Bend with the wind that announced the storm, so that you are not thrown down. That is to say, prepare yourself so as not to be like the foolish virgins who were taken by surprise at the arrival of their husbands. This revolution, which prepares itself, is more moral than material. The great spirits who are divine messengers still fate amongst you, so that all who are enlightened by the zealous workers may make their humble voices heard, seeing that all humanity are like grains of sand, without which there would be no mountains. Thus the word, we are small, lack insignificance to teach his mission, to each his work. Does not the ant build his republic, and other imperishable animals raise continents? The new crusade has begun. Apostles not of war, but of the universe peace, Mother Saint Bernard's look ahead and march forward. The law of the words is a law of progress. Fenelon, I think this is how it's in point years, 1861. All right, so this for me, it just shows that what we're going through with so many wars, pandemics, corruption, everything wrong is really like a war going on. Not only war what we know. I'm talking about war between good and bad. So we are here, we're being given this opportunity to learn about Spiritism. So it's really a call. Either you embrace yourself to become a good person and to learn from the end, or you succumb to the evil. I think Spiritism is really something that come to teach us, something that help us understand ourselves, something that help us in our lives, but also is almost like makes us, how can I say, make us have a duty, a moral duty, because when you know what is wrong and you're still doing wrong, you even more like you being even less of a person than somebody that does bad not knowing that is a bad thing. Now you have understand and you should not be doing things that are bad. Now you're gonna get understand. So it's almost like Spider-Man, more power, more responsibility. There we go. More understand, more responsibility, because now learning Spiritism is not an easy task. You're gonna be hold to your understand. So this is something really should be taken serious. In return, you're gonna have peace of mind. You're gonna understand things in life will pass. You will understand yourself more. You will embrace the world with lightness, and you will become a better person. So it's actually really good we talk about this in chapter 1, because you might decide this is not for you, but this is basically what it's going to be, and this is just the study of the gospel. If you decide to study Spiritism on your own, I suggest that you start with the Book of Spirits, which is right here this time. This is the primary of all things. Even if you don't want to be even people that are, let's see, Reiki masters, tarot readers, any spiritual, not religion, but any form of spiritual dealings, like anything that deals with spiritism, you need to read this book. This is the explanation of everything. This is the beginning. This is why, like, let's say a tarot card reader, which read cards, if it is a true one, if it's a real one that is receiving messages from somewhere in the meanings of the cards that they put on the table and they read to you, they need to know where it's coming from. They need to understand this. So this is the basis. I'm doing the gospel according to Spiritism because I think it's the one that touches more religion, and because I never read, so I want to read together with you. But to understand everything, the spiritual books is the number one. So maybe I will think about starting a project on the one here, but I'm not sure yet. Anyways, I will post this video. This video is not going to be edited because I don't have time for that, and we are here to talk and not to make it look pretty. So I hope we all took something from that. This is the end of chapter 1. Oh, amazing, I cannot believe. And so we're gonna jump into chapter 2. So again, thank you so much. I have to say, I went back to the Professor Luis Fernando, and he already talked about this chapter 1, so I went back to his explanation to take a little bit of knowledge from him. and I hope he doesn't mind, but I already tried to contact him to say I will be doing that. So thank you so much. Have a blessed week, and speak with you. If you guys have any questions, just send to me. Is it's kardecuk@gmail.com. That's the address. That I'll be answering any questions, and I hope this can touch many people and help many people. Take care. Bye.